how would you define racism then?
Racism is a system of oppression used by a certain group using prejudice, institutional power, and it's situated by the media, government, and all these other institutions.
So give me an example of one thing you as a black man cannot do that I as a white man can do in America.
Got you. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, right, I went to a DeSantis rally. Got my ticket, all that good. Been to a million different, rallies of a kind, whether, I was a conservative at the time or whether I was a liberal, right? I know that as a black person, I am far more likely to be arrested for expressing my view, whether I am a conservative or a liberal. And I've done it on both sides. And, oh, yes, I was arrested.
You were probably being a jerk. That's why you were arrested.
And that's the best part. And that's the best part, right? That's the best part. I wasn't even being a jerk. And the courts even found, our beloved courts.
Let me make sure I understand this. So you think the bigger problem than fathers not being in the home is a abstract conspiracy theory that you have that hecklers and jerks at political events are arrested because of the color of their skin? That's the best definition of institutional racism?
No, that's not my definition on racism. I did tell you what my definition was. Give me an example of something
a white man like me can do that a black man like you can't do. Because guess what? If I showed up at a DeSantis event and started heckling, I'd be kicked out and arrested.
No, you would not. No, in fact, I even have evidence.
You know how I know that's true?
You want to know how I know it's true?
White suburban kids from Highland Park, and they're arrested a lot more, actually, when you see the mugshots. Yeah.
Oh, so white kids are arrested a lot more. Could that possibly be? Could that possibly be?
Can you talk into the mic?
And I'm just guessing here. Could it possibly be that white people are arrested more because you have a higher population and therefore by proximity you are more like, because it's math, it's basic math. I know we hate math. I know we hate it, but I passed it, unlike y'all.
So let me ask you a question. How does racism contribute to black on black crime in Chicago?
On one side of it, it was really interesting to hear the gentleman talk about his experience in protesting. And if I heard it correctly, he said that he purposely presenting himself as a conservative one time, as a Democrat one time, and he went to protest, and he said he was protesting peacefully, and he got arrested. And his point is that, black people will get arrested by even protesting more so over white people. So Kirk was just a little, wanted a little bit more clarification, I feel. And he said, so you're saying that if you're black, or Kirk was saying that if he were to go to protest and he was rude and screaming and disruptive, that he would get arrested too. And the gentleman challenged him and said, oh, you feel you would be? And they just kind of went back and forth. But Kerr was trying to explain to him that if you look at all the people who have, first of all, who are at these protests, they're mostly white. And if you look at the mugshots that are coming out of who do get arrested, they're mostly white. And so the gentleman was trying to explain that, though, well, that's because mathematically there are more whites out there than there are black people. At least that's what I understood him to say. So the next question that Kurt asked, I thought was a very important question. He asked the person how he felt about the black on black crime in Chicago. And that's having him answer a question where it's majority of black people doing harm to other black people, and they're getting arrested for it, so that there's a stop to it, and etc. So that was I felt a good question to ask, just to have more of an apples to apples, and to hear what the gentleman had to say about that.